Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get underway now. ARKS kicking off to Curtin. They're going to send the first one deep this afternoon. Big rivalry between both clubs here. Both these clubs have come through the community grades over the last few years as we see a knock-on. I'm going to see a scrum in the first minute here. Both of these sides have been battling out, as I said, through the community grades over the last 5 to 10 years. Both now in the Premier grade competition. Wins for these sides hard to come by, so this one's always a big affair for both. First scrum of the afternoon here. ARKS definitely have the bit of a weight advantage, but as we've seen today, as the game goes on and those big ARKS boys get tired, a lot of these Curtin scrums, they've been putting in a lot of work in the off-seasons. Lots of technical work, and they've got a good hit first here. Just need to hold their feet, don't over-chase. Now they're angling in as well. Referee for this game, George Foster-Jones. He's been quite in form in recent months and weeks over the last couple of years. Been appointed to this one to keep space and time. Big change as well for the Curtin University outfit. Nick Chadwick has moved into the number 9 jersey. And the words we're hearing out of the camp is that he's actually quite useful off the deck. Hit and chase, down far side again here. Ball comes out eventually for ARKS as they spin it through their back line initially and get it out onto the wing, and the first opportunity is going to come in the corner. And ARKS goes straight over and score the first try of the afternoon. In the corner, it's 5 points to 0. Curtin just sucked in a little bit too much there. And the floodgates opened up out wide. As you see there, as they got towards the 22, Winger came in off his man. Check ball out. And as easy as you like, 5 points to 0, kick to come in the corner. All about composure for this ARKS side as well. They've got the rugby smarts. They know how to play a good bit of footy. But just comes to discipline around ruck time for them. So if they can manage to keep their behaviour in check today, it'll be a lot easier for themselves. First try scorer out on the wing there was Craig Wesley. Kick comes across now, it's high, it's moving towards the dot, but just fades off the inside. Score's going to remain 5 points to 0. We're 3 minutes in. Curtin ready to get the restart underway. High kick, found a little bit of space, had to get underneath. It's a good tackle from Wheeler. ARKS settle the ball. 35 out from their own line, hit the pot up first. Good little run there by Khan. Now feeding it out the back. Opportunities out wide. Once again, Curtin just sucked in too much. Fighting through the first little bits of contact. And working towards halfway. Blindside option. Half scoots, gets it around the corner. It was Black to Crawford. And ball available again. Flat ball. Running on sharply Laurent. Plenty of support. Any old half getting in at the moment for ARKS. Just need to get someone to get it out. They find a bit of space. Crawford again now, taking on the line. Gets his hands free. And now Black gives it off. Cowley down the right wing. Just fighting, trying to stay in the field of play. Gets brought down, 5 and 5. Plenty of ball runners. They send this one long. Bounces. Opportunities now. Just trying to find who wants to take it on. Avey. Grubber through. Off a Curtin boot. Finding its way towards the line. Chadwick covering across the back and gets taken into touch in goal. I believe this one's going to be a scrum down. ARKS ball brought into touch in goal. And that's what we settle on as well. It's the second scrum of the afternoon. Packs get themselves together. Good hit. Loose head Curtin angling in once again. Just not able to hold the weight out there at the moment. Pick and drive towards the line now. Curtin just short. Gets confusing with that white line at the 2 there. Plenty of numbers piling over the top. Now ARKS spin out. Looping play around the back. Just lost forward there by Wedsley. Curtin get the turnover. First little run of the ball for this afternoon. Robert Fulton, the stable foot of the back line. And Chadwick off the deck. Brought to ground now, just on the 22 with Sevilla.
Advantage over for the knock.
Now Burns brought to ground outside. Good counter ruck here. ARKS with an opportunity. They start to pile in now and get over the top of the ball. Turnover comes. So quick turnover. Rush defense out wide from Curtin. 2-on-1 now. Wings are on. Has to step inside. Good little attempt there from Perry to keep him in.
He's left it. Play on.
Available now. Through the back line. Tamanu.
No.
Just to chase. Lots of pressure being applied by Curtin, though. Now it's going to be left to Cowley to get back. No one wants to get their hands on the footy. Eventually gets picked up, but playing on the ground, I believe.
And without the ball, yeah.
No push without the ball. That was against Josh Wheeler there. He's doing a lot of good work early, keeping that ball disrupted, but now ARKS come away with the penalty. Tap and go, chipping over the top. Opportunity here for Timanu. And turnover ball once again at the back. Brandon Davis. Eventually brought to ground and stripped immediately, so it's possession ping pong at the moment. Neither side wants to hold the ball for more than a phase. Slow ball, pick and go to the right. There's Toki on. Set out to the right here. Toki wants a ball. Nope, pops out the other side of the ruck. Messy ball chance for the counter ruck. Curtin are over the top of this one. Just not surviving long enough. Yes, he did.
Holding on.
So a good bit of defensive work there by Curtin. Slow ball by ARKS. Gave him enough time to set back. Get ready, and then on the next tackle, just pilfering straight over the top. Touch finder looks solid. So we're going to have a line out. 43 out from the line. Curtin with ball in hand.
Just set the first. So can you maintain the gap the whole game, please? Your responsibility. Yeah.
Joined now this afternoon by Dave McRae. He's been on the sidelines, just getting a little bit of study from both of the sides. Find anything interesting out on the benches there, Dave?
No, not as of yet, Nick.
There's a lot of chatter coming out of the Curtin camp to our left, as now we see ARKS off the turnover ball. Opportunities for the wing, but doesn't quite go to hand. Ball goes back. Curtin shoving off 1-2. The cover defense comes now.
The run's a bit lax here from Curtin.
Their pace on the ball has been the message to the back line. Wheeler trying to secure the ball, do so now. Chadwick now feeding out the back. Paley, inside ball to Fulton. Gets brought down 24 out. Numbers piling across. They maintain their feet. And they've got the hands in the ruck. There was a lot of pressure there. Just seeing a noticing trend there. Curtin, once they've had that first or second phase, they're leaving it to a couple of other boys to actually get over the top and secure their ball.
Well, just in that play there, Nick, when that turnover ball, I mean, the run up to support was not there, was it?
Need support behind it. Comes from a little bit of rugby smarts. A lot of young faces in this Curtin outfit. And Just not understanding, needing to be running off their ball runners. Be there in support, get the offload or secure that ball, secure the ruck.
Off, guys, we got a sub.
And a sub coming straight away here. Far side ARKS running across the park.
14 red. 14 off. Hang on, time's off, guys.
So a short stint for Craig Wesley this afternoon, already coming off the park. Must have picked up a niggle. ARKS ball, 35 out from the line. Turnover, Chadwick has nowhere to go, has to accept the contact from an Afani Nato. Now Curtin opportunities, losing it forward once again. Lucky not to come away with advantage. No, it comes now from the side. Deep ball, ARKS trying to find something. Advantage to be over with the jabbing kick. It's a good one, holds up in the surface. Lost backwards, we're outside the 22. Have to run the ball here. ARKS now settled behind it. It's been held up, maul called by the referee. They're going to lose this one. And just failing to get to ground initially, this one's going to be locked up. Turnover ball, Dave.
Yeah, again, the run and chase. It's almost like I'm watching a team in Curtin that's played 2 games already. It's rather odd. I mean, that there's plenty of numbers here. They're up and about. The energy from the first 2 games, well, you called the first 2 games, the energy was there, but seems a bit lacklustre now for the big game.
Just doesn't seem like anyone really wants to run onto the ball at the moment, especially take on a bit of contact. I know these ARKS boys, they're big and they like to hit a ruck hard, have a big tackle. But at the end of the day, they're just men like you, Curtin boys. Need to get in there, support your own men. Been a lot of pressure on the loose head here. Curtin chasing, going too far. And I think he's going to receive a chat this time from Foster Jones. As you notice here, there's a lot of pressure. Matthew Stevens, it is the loose head prop here. Just needs to maintain pressure. He's trying to get an upper hand on Kane. Probably outweighed by about 30 kilos. Set to go again.
Bind. Set.
Better hit this time. Ball's in and available. And we clear out for the back line. ARKS flat, jabbing through. That's why they set up flat, and there's a foot race on here. Just gets shinned forward. A little bit of holding, diving on it at the back now.
No red, off your feet.
Tyre Perry doing well to secure ball. Have to pick and go, need to buy some time. It's a good bit of work by Grace. Handing off now. Little options left and right. Curtin, this looks better. They're running onto the ball this time. Gets back to Grace, and he's found himself in a little bit of open space. Brought to ground, no, he's not. Ankle tap gets shrugged off quite nicely. Grace wants to go all the way. No, he was pinning the ears back. Once he beat the first 2, he wanted that all for himself. Options out to the left here. Sa'ivala wants it on the left, the big number 8, but they choose to dart right. Chadwick has a crack himself as well. Too small young man. So we're inside the 22. Slow ball once again. And Curtin need to find something.
Oh, this is messy.
Here we are, playing the ball on the ground.
I think they were lucky there.
Yeah, lackluster around the ruck time there. They were going to get a turnover regardless. Didn't need to go in with the hands. And I think the old adage must come true here. Take the points. No, they're going to look to the sideline.
Well, it's the first real foray into ARKS territory, isn't it? So
first real entry. Yeah, not wrong there. See what they got at line-out time.
Just on this theme of pace, Nick, they are a smaller team, but they're a younger team.
Okay.
So there should be no excuses when it comes to pace. So they're going to get beaten with kilos, but they're not going to get beaten with legs. So use your advantage. That was a terrible line-out.
Bad line-out. Outside shoulder gets tapped away. ARKS come up with it scrambling at the back. Now they're going to go for a clearing kick centered. Curtin, once again, the youth shows they're out of position, get turned inside out, and the ball's just allowed to roll into touch 50-odd metres down past the kick. And it's going to be a Curtin line out, 35 out from their own line. Same with the rugby smarts again there, Dave. Maybe a quick line out you'd like to see there?
You've just taken the words out of them. They had 4 on 1 there. They could have cleared that ball right out really quickly. And the spread across towards the broadcast side, they're playing on the back foot at the moment.
They're letting the game come to them, trying to get hit up by ARKS. And we know eventually they're going to break a couple of tackles and run straight through you. There's going to be a few times throughout the game they're going to break big tackles. So you've got to take the game to ARKS, force the issue onto them, see if they can fix the line out this time, which they do. Nicely done by Ansbro to take it at the top. Slow ball once again. Feeding through. Grace, the ball runner from before, has another crack at it, but no way through this time. Chadwick slow to the back of the ruck. A little chip into open space. It's
clever,
going to
but no
bounce.
runners.
No runners chasing on. Chadwick has to fail it up himself. No, sorry, it's Fulton. Big shove off, beating a second one. And that's it. You give these ARKS boys a little bit of space and time, Dave. They're just going to run straight through like that. Big contest at the ruck. Fulton gets the turnover.
Arriving player, he was fine.
So the captain, Robbie Fulton, doing a lot of heavy lifting there. The only ball chaser, makes his tackle at the end, gets back and wins the turnover. It's a one-man band back there. Clearing kick now.
And that's not going to go out. Oh, is it? Is it? No, it's not.
It's not the best kick that turned into a little bit of
genius. You've only got two chases here.
They got all the time in the world, ARKS, to exit their 22 here. I don't know why they've remained so deep, but now the kick comes charged down. Might roll its way into touch on the far side and does so now. Geez, a little bit lackadaisical even by ARKS there. They've settled into the pace of Curtin.
Look, and conditions aren't going to get any better, Nick. Well, 28 degrees is the broadcast, is the forecast, I should say, from the bomb. But there is, just for those watching at home, there's absolutely no wind across the ground, so it probably feels a lot hotter than 28. So if they don't have the energy now, they're definitely not going to have it in the second half.
16 minutes into the first already with a couple periods of time off. You've got no excuses not to be to be gassed out already. And not straight at the back. Line out, the option called by Curtin.
The better option, given the forward packs.
Yeah, look, and they're going to have to be careful. I think it's already been noted that the loose head's not really doing too much of a good job for Curtin. Time's going to be called off again here now. What would you like to see off the line-out piece here? Do you want to see the backs maybe actually attack it with pace? Do you reckon they can bring it down out or out more?
Well, the line-out down here on the opposite wing that they did actually win. There was this lack of urgency, wasn't there? Brought it to ground, and then I don't know why you'd have a play with a ball on the ground, but even the receiver was again lackadaisical with it. Move the ball quickly. It's a youthful team. Use that advantage you've got in the young legs to move the ball. The only way you get a better team like ARKS is if you move the ball.
It certainly looks like every single one of them hits the gyms from that Curtin outfit as well. They're certainly fit. There is no excuse.
No.
We're putting it all on them to outrun ARKS this afternoon. That's the only way they're going to get through. And if you play coast-to-coast rugby and you actually run onto the ball as a backline, you're going to be hard to stop.
Let's be honest. These are the two cellar dwellers of the competition as well. And so they're both used to being on the wrong side of the scoreboard. And when we go back and we have a look at the games where ARKS, for example, are beaten and beaten well, it's those teams that move the ball well and make them run.
Sides like your Perth Bayswaters who like to play really wide rugby. There's a forward pot on the left side of the ground. There's a forward pot on the right side of the ground. And they use their 10 and 12 to shift it the entire width of the pitch every single play. It's still just a pod ball like every other team, every single phase. But they just move it coast to coast every time. And a team like ARKS, they just get run off their feet eventually. It's a lot of defending to have to do. Short line out, 4-man. ARKS have to drop goal line. They go front trick play, lost forward. Don't know if we needed a trick play like that this early in the game. ARKS settle with the ball.
It was 4-on-1.
It was 4-on-1 outside. So now ARKS settle, look to go to the pocket here now. Do so. Clearing kick gets up. It's going to find its way into touch. Finding it about 30 out from their own line. So not the worst kick in the world. Not going to expect too much more out of them from such deep in the pocket with a bit of an angle.
Your head done.
And once again now Curtin, reset. Just 20 metres shy of where they were 2 seconds ago.
You can sit with me if you want.
Fogali set to throw. 6-man this time, front pod setup. Confusion on the call. Not sure where they're going here, Curtin. They don't know what they want to do. Over the top. Bad throw once again. Don't even contest to pick it up. They let ARKS do all the heavy lifting in that department as well. It was brought down by Cowley and now feeds out through, I believe Harris was the man who went to ground. Pocket again. Only one player back for Curtin. Secured. Davies looks heads up, fakes the up and under, and now finds a little bit of space. Not too many chasing from ARKS, so he's picked the right option here. Davies to ground 35 out.
They're going to lose this again.
Needs support under it. Fogali gets the hands off Chadwick, doesn't want to go to ground, so gets it off again now. Siali Ovali to ground.
Second to the contest.
And once again, not enough support, blowing over the top of the ruck. And ARKS have got the turnover pocket, and they'll clear it again, but lost forward.
That was just fortuitous, that was. Again, second to the breakdown.
Every time.
You've got ball in hand and you're the attacking. You got the attacking play. Whoa! If you're second to the contest, you're going to lose the ball. It's almost like they forgot to turn the switch on before they come running out.
Just needs to talk a little bit. You've got to work in your threes. If there's a pod ball runner, he should have two on him. Those two go over the top and they secure. There's a good little heads-up play here by Davies, though. You see he got the ball at the back. He darted inside. It was good to see him darting through a couple. And then Curtin support. He ran towards them. He found himself in a good little position. Scrum down, Curtin ball, early shove. Lucky to get away with it, ARKS. I'd maybe like to see some decisions coming out of these scrum resets soon by Foster Jones. He's being a little bit tolerant with both packs early here. But maybe just setting a quick example. ARKS not good enough, free kick, get him out of there. Primed and set again. Curtin just with the one on the right-hand side. ARKS have matched up with two blind side. Looks like they're going to run a crash ball off 13. No, 8 picks blind. Suliavali driving towards the line and over.
That is
didn't look likely, but Curtin have gone over. They're going to level it up 5 all with a kick to come and a little bit of pedestrian defense, you would say, down the blind side, Dave.
Well, as soon as he picked up that ball, he knew exactly where he was going. Bad defensive line from the ARKS, but again, this white line fever that the Curtin have, it's come off well there, but fortuitous. If the ARKS had set up properly in defence, that wouldn't have gone over.
And they had the two on the blind side. You've got your flanker and you got your flanker set up there. You've got three men to tackle the 8. One of you got to take the game on by the hands and take him. I know we've just been bagging Curtin's potential defensive issues, but there they are straight away.
Yeah. And again, if it wasn't for that bad defensive line from ARKS, he wouldn't have gone over. The fact that he picked that ball, he went straight for that line. And again, his support out on the right were flat-footed. So if
they weren't going to get the ball.
They weren't going to get the ball. So there's some big gaps in both sides at the moment.
So kick to come, 5 apiece is the score. Clean strike of the ball.
That's a good kick.
And goes over. So an important 2 for Curtin, 7 points to 5. And as we enter the second half of the first half, not the best English there. No ball in the centre.
No ball. Time off. No ball, gentlemen.
And as the Goats ball boy on the side here is just sitting on the ball, now he's realised and kicks the ball on.
I might have missed that. There was a bit of chatter as well on the sidelines from the Curtin.
Time back on. It's on you, kicker.
Curtin bench. I think having a few words to say to a few of the ARKS boys on the pitch.
That's more than okay. Happy to get a little bit of feeling involved in this afternoon's contest, maybe to bring out something better out of both sides. This one's into touch and ARKS look to go quickly. Do so now across the back. No one else out there. He's going to have to run this himself. Gets inside the first, and now he can find the options outside. Didn't need to do the triple cut. Just could have gone the regular pass. However, the winger gets caught up now, and they've gained a few metres. Cowley was the ball runner. Now across the face. It goes through Tata. Stripped in the contest. The call from the referee, and now the turnover for Curtin. Chadwicks looks left. And Toki runs the ball.
These three need support, though.
Grace needs someone with him. He's been the ball runner the whole time. He's got people outside him now, and Curtin are going to go through again. Brought down, almost half a trip, and then playing the ball. Could get penalty advantage here, Curtin. It was a sloppy play of the ball there by ARKS, but they got the ball inside the 22, and the game starts to come alive.
Gee, he could have
Foagali.
thrown it to his left.
Heaps of numbers out to the left. It would have been in for all money. Now Curtin slow things down once again and let ARKS reset. ARKS have got one down in back plate. So 14 versus 15 inside the 22. Siliavala, Chadwick to the one-on-one out wide. Can they use their pace? Ty Perry gets wrapped down. Support comes. Chadwick gets done round the angles. Now they get it free once again. And once again, passing it off but not getting forward. They need to either take it to ground, but Chadwick gets through himself. He's everywhere. He's moved into 9 this season, and he's finding a lot more of the ball. And it's one of the sloppiest sideways tries you'll see, but Dave, they're over again.
But just in that last few phases, there was urgency, wasn't there? There was urgency to run the ball, look for the option, left or right, not this white line fever, and that's got him over the line. So again, as we mentioned, you attack this ARKS side with a bit of pace, a bit of ball movement, and you're going to find gaps.
And it was a good little use of time there by Chadwick. He went into the first bit of contact, went to ground, noticed he didn't have the support coming over the top, popped it, got himself up, then wrapped around the back for Tyler Perry, who had the ball, got the ball again, and headed himself underneath, as you just saw there, for his try.
Got to mention as well, the tackles that came from ARKS, they're all around the waist,
15.
all around the legs and ankles, which gave all of the Curtin ball carriers, gave their arms were free and gave them options to pass.
So 12 points to 5, kick to come here. Paley strikes now. Looks good again. No, just over to the right maybe. So score's going to remain 12 points to 5 in the first half of this FMG Clash of the Week. It's just been a good 5 minutes for Curtin. They've scored 2. ARKS need to get back into the game.
Time off, gents. Got a substitution. Who's coming off? Which numbers?
So the real numbers early, ARKS.
Yeah, lots of early substitutions
I'm just
coming.
looking on the bench at the moment. So we do have an ankle, and it's been quite heavily strapped. So he won't be taking any further part. That early substitution, you know his number.
But danger
Nick.
for ARKS.
Yeah.
Time back on, gents.
I believe it's number 12 on the bench there.
It is number 12, yeah.
Number 12 there, Tireni, who is quite the ball carrier. No, it's 17. One of the subs, Huta, is already off.
No red.
So a nice big pack of ice on his right ankle there.
Backwards.
And ARKS, when fitness is the question, not good seeing too many subs come
That's
on
great.
early for
That's
them.
fantastic.
Robbie Fulton breaking through now. He's got the
needs
pace.
support. He's got no one.
Fulton brought to ground by a great tackle, just manages to push the ball backwards, bought his team some time to get across. Curtin inside the 22, so a third entry in consecutive fashion now, causing disruption, getting the penalty advantage. Chadwick, blindside, nowhere to go. Now they need to reset and find a forward pod. They've got their big number 8 ball runner out to the right, but they go a pick again through Hamish McKay. Off the deck now, ball runners are set and ready. It's Big Vuea. Big Vuea again, just charging through the line. Didn't have the momentum to begin with, but then started his leg drive, and Curtin go 3 for 3.
Well, that's a turn up, isn't it? The game has literally turned on its head in the last 5-7 minutes. But again, a lot of kilos going at that defensive line against ARKS, but the tackles, you've got to hold your tackles first and foremost, or at least stop him. And the way that the defensive line for ARKS, that last line, is approaching those Curtin runners.
He wasn't exactly attacking the line with pace when he first got the ball. We see here now when the ball gets popped off, he's pretty much walking towards the line, then sees there's no one on the inside, cracks on the inside, and starts really just driving the legs. And by then it's too late. He's already broken the line. You're 5 out. He's going to do nothing but fall over the big man. And we get the third for Curtin, 17 to 5, kick to come. So maybe they were listening to you, Dave. You said that they needed to take the game to ARKS. You said they needed a bit of urgency. Kicks just off the inside. He's 1 for 3 so far.
Well, we've got two sides that probably aren't the most skillful in the competition. So, again, playing to their strengths. They're going to make mistakes if they move that ball quickly, because they're going to find those gaps.
17 to 5.
12 minutes.
10 minutes roughly to go in the first half. And the call comes from the bench saying basically that ARKS are already exhausted, and I'm pretty much on side with them now.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry to get back to the
On you,
line.
kicker.
Sucking in the big ones, a few of them. Probably expect this kick to go deep. They want to get some territory back. And it does, makes its way around the 22. Chasing up off the kick nicely there. And Chadwick just goes fishing now. Try scorer has another crack at the line.
Driven back.
Good defense
Ball's
this
out.
time, ARKS. Ball's this
No.
side, sneaky on this side, a little bit of a hand. George Foster was just coming around the wrong side. Curtin, flat ball wide, cutting out nicely. 3-on-2 on the wing. Managed to break. It's brought to ground eventually. Chadwick moves to 10. And just finding someone on the ball. So slow play of the ball here for Curtin. Just trying to find someone who can break the line like Fayagoli did just briefly then. No real urgency here. Blindside. Minor overlap if they can get free.
No red.
Brought to ground that time, Burns.
Don't wait.
Forward runners are flat. They decide to go to the back line. 10 gives a little pump and decides to take it to the line himself. Gains 1 or 2. So probably entering about the 8th or 9th phase here for Curtin now. Have gained a reasonable 15-20 metres. But just happy to take a bit of time off the clock here and keep moving forward as Robbie Fulton just darts that one off the side. Need another one out to the blind side. It's 2-on-3, so they can use the hands nicely. Cut out, pass goes to ground, lost forward. ARKS now with a bit of ball in hand, see what they can do. Lost forward advantage, they pick blind. Dylan Crawford did well to secure on the blind side. Toki gives it off now and lost forward again.
Coming back for the high tackle.
Gonna go back. High tackle, actually the call on the far side. Must have just been around on that first tackle.
Thanks, buddy.
Didn't see the arm go out. So let off for ARKS. It's twice the fullback now though. Has knocked the ball on. Just seeming to look before he catches the ball, looking on his outside. There was one off the defensive inside the 22. And once again there, just not quite watching the ball into his hands before he looks on the outside.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, if you don't watch the ball, you got to drop it.
So kick makes its way into touch. Probably 25 out from the line. ARKS with an attacking opportunity that they haven't seen in the past 15 minutes. 5-man line.
Hold.
2 in at the receiver, lucky to get away with that one. Once again, just sloppy on tactical plays. Running it straight forward this time of 8. Running around the back, Toki.
If they run at the line here, ARKS, they're going to get close to the line. They just need to keep ball in hand, hit that line.
Running straight, palming off the wing, doing a good little bit of work there to Manu. Now needs to present, they need quick ball.
All right, he's come through.
So we're inside the 22.
Oh,
now
it's
been snatched underneath
Okay,
by
so-
Chadwick. Running towards the line, the big Curtin, number 1. Matthew Stevens. Got met nicely by Hokie, and he's won the
it's turned
turnover again. So the 1 possession phase turned over. And now ARKS back on the attack inside the 22.
He's got 3-3 so far.
Black's just charging towards the line. I was expecting him to be brought to ground sooner than that. It's up to Ave to fill in at half. Now they get close to the line. Pick and drive once again. ARKS building the pressure, and they're going to get their second for the afternoon. No real resistance on the fringes there. ARKS recognising it, and they just pick and drive over the line. 10 points to 17, kick to come.
Yeah, that's what I said. They ball in hand, hit the defensive line from Curtin. They're going to get through. Use their strength.
As you see here on the replay, just simple pick and drives left and right of the ruck. Just picking it up, diving towards the padded post. And the referee in great position just to award the try at the back there. You've got to put your ABC defenders in play.
Yeah, mate, I'll better.
Otherwise, ARKS are going to pick you apart quite simply. Can't allow teams like ARKS just to gain metres off every single pick and drive. They should be gaining nothing.
Well, it's a good response from ARKS because, again, if Curtin are going to move the ball, they're going to have a bit of urgency. Then, if they're playing that game properly, playing to their strengths, their opportunities that ARKS have are going to be, inside the 22, the pick and go, as you said, they've got the weight behind them. And again, the uni side, youthful side, and a lot of experience. They're going to find those gaps as well.
It's just about communication. ARKS, that's it. ARKS are going to just, if you don't have anyone defending on the inside channel, ARKS are going to say, oh, well, I'll have a crack.
Yeah.
I'll have a crack. That's fine. I'll get 2 metres. I'm happy. If no one's calling ABC.
And that's all you need against the youthful side as well. As he missed that. He has too.
Gee, that was an important kick
That's
as well.
Shocking miss.
17 to 5.
He seemed to.
Sorry, 17 to 10.
He seemed to want to kick the stuffing out of
Yeah.
it.
Curtin still in control, but only by 7. We'll see where this kickoff goes. There's plenty of space off to the right. ARKS have not put a man front right. If it gets recognised by the wing out there, they could have a free kick. But it looks like they're just going to go by the wayside, send this one high. Straighten down the forwards. It's going to struggle to make the 10, actually. Just short.
I got a touch.
It's good disposal. You're running at 100% now, Dave. And we'll come back to halfway for a scrum for ARKS, not making the 10.
Scrum, ball, not 10.
So here, I want to take a little bit of a deep dive here. Watch with me, Dave. Number 1 for Curtin, the loose head. He's the closest man to us, taking on the number 1 for ARKS. Now that ARKS have got ball in hand here, I wonder and see if he caves straight in like he has on most of the ARKS scrums. Setup's not too low. Sinks now.
Bind.
Good long blind. Drops the elbow a little bit in there. Say straight inwards. Yeah. Disrupts the ARKS push and takes it all around the side. Comes out, but it's certainly going to be something that gets looked at in the second half.
Got an overlap. He's gone right through. You could have driven a truck through that.
Ryan Black's going to go over, and ARKS have had the quick reply. So maybe it's just what team wants to turn on for the 5 minutes at the period of time. ARKS get a second in quick succession. Basically straight off the kickoff. First phase off the scrum from a not 10 kick. Ryan Black gets a try for ARKS and they'll have another chance. But with the last kicking effort, I wouldn't say this one's a definite.
No, well, he's dead in front. Just need to headbutt it over, so to speak.
So as you see, wrap ball comes. Ryan Black then feeds. It was a good little opportunity for him, but he just wanted to attack the line. Lazy defending lets him go straight through, and he's not the quickest man on the park, but he used his angles well.
Well, I don't have the option of the replay there, Nick, but I would have been interested to see the eyes of the man out here closest to the line on the broadcast side. Was
Josh Wheeler, the number 11.
Was he watching the ball carrier, or was he? Yeah, so.
Turned immediately, didn't want to make the first up contact, was leaving it to his outside man.
Yeah, good.
There was nothing left.
And again, it's youth, isn't it? It's not
it's
a
communication.
lack of experience, yeah.
Just got to talk to each other as a young side. Kick comes, not guaranteeing anything, but he's hit this one a little bit sweeter.
Scores a level.
Scores a level, 17 apiece, and we're in the dying stages of the first half. So Curtin have got to make this one go 10. Don't want another scrum on halfway, because it did not work. Once again, Dave, you see there on the far side of the field, nobody for ARKS in that quadrant. It's a free kickoff. But there's zero awareness currently. Even the winger's not calling for it on the far side. If I was a greedy little wing, I'd be screaming for it. I don't care if I was heard. As long as it's quick enough, we'd be on. Same kickoff. ARKS secure the ball. And the struggle tackle's just not good enough.
5.
Doesn't get out of the 5th, but almost. The tackle's just not quite coming the way the ARKS, the way from Curtin at the moment. Nobody at home deep left as well, so they're going to get this one wide, and it's going to be a foot race with the 10. Brought down 40 out from the line. Slow ball, but secured nonetheless. ARKS feed Tata, and then flat ball to Carlos.
And that was better. That was better from Curtin. Much better.
They've caught disruption. Unlucky there. Just 2 cracks on the second time. The first little bit of counter ruck was good though, Dave. You are right. Just had a second crack of it once he was on the ground. Tata wrapped up. Nowhere to really go. Interesting to go the tap and go from 45 out in the middle of the pitch. Floaty ball over the top. Jaden Jacques brought to ground 35 now. Slow ball again. ARKS just want phases. They know they can go forward if they get there. Grace, nice little shoot and tackle.
Backwards.
No knock on, it was backwards. And now they're going to attack the line. They can pierce here. Fulton trying to strip the ball through the tackle. Not quite successful, and he's going to get pinged for rolling here if he doesn't get out of the way soon. Ball's available, lucky there. Inside ball's a good one. Now inside the 22, need to secure this tackle. Now the ball gets lost forward.
Backwards.
No,
Blackwood's off Black. Can Curtin come away with the pill here as well? Looks like they have. Need someone in the pocket. So they're going to have to pick and go, see what they can do for a phase or two first. Folgali was the first carrier.
There's absolutely no spread from Curtin. None. They're all...
No one knows what to do in
up.
exit. There's no exit call. There's no play for exit at all. They're hoping someone figures it out. Fulton now drops to the pocket. But their number 10 kicks it out into touch anyway, not gaining too much. Can go quickly, but it's 2-on-2, not much there. And it's going to be halftime nonetheless. So Dave, 17 apiece. We're going to head into the second half. Let's hope things pick up in the technical aspect for this one.
Probably a good representation, the scoreboard of the two halves of that first half.
Exactly, yeah. We'll see you right back after this, everyone.
It starts, one team picks up, then the other one does. One drops off, one picks up.
FMG Fortescue Premier Grade Clash of the week. It was all tied up at halftime, 17 apiece. A little bit of time for Curtin to organise a couple game plans for the second half. And ARKS, a big breather for them. I'm sure a lot of their forwards are happy about that, Dave.
Oh, they're going to struggle. I think I've got 2 injured on the bench at the moment. So, as a bigger side, not great conditions for rugby. Probably about 30-odd out on the pitch.
As we saw a brilliant kick-off, that one got sent sky high, went about 15 metres. It's been tapped back from Curtin, and now they've ended up with the ball. So Fulton with his first touch finds himself in at half. And they climb forwards, and there's a few backs available. Who's the 10 going to go to? He's going to chip over the top. It's going to bounce. There's a bit of a clash of bodies. Good hard footy out there. Stepping inside, 1, 2, 3, too easy. No one to beat.
Shocking.
It's a little bit of a foot race. There's someone coming. Chadwick's chasing. But just like that, the hole opens in front.
So the number 6, you've got the team list there. Number 6 for Curtin. He knows he's put his head in his hands straight away because he was made to look very silly.
Burns
on that
just
place.
cornered out.
Turned inside out.
Didn't need to just square up and make the tackle.
Exactly.
Don't have to chase yet. That's left. Leave that for someone else. There's a good little bit of effort by Chadwick to try get back. But nonetheless, Maliki to money. One of their best ball runners in the side, number 13 for ARKS, has scored a try. And just like that.
So here's the replay on the screen. No, that's not the replay. Sorry. Here it is.
Good clash of bodies first up. The hole just opens. Stepping
So just there, that's, I mean, that's terrible.
Pedestrian.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be negative.
Don't know why he's turning that way either.
It's just, he's turned,
He's literally said, I'll just go this way.
He's literally turned outside, away from the, it's just bizarre. Oh, well.
Well. 22-17, kick to come. Chase was almost getting a charge down there off the kick, but he gets the extra 2. 24-17. ARKS are up in the second half.
Sorry? Yeah.
Curtin back to halfway. A similar kickoff would be great for them. This one a little bit shorter, just as high.
Backwards. Yeah, off back.
And touched
Line out. No,
off
with the
both
wing
players
backwards,
backwards
then
into
line.
touch. It's going to be ARKS ball. Line out, ARKS ball. Just juggled into touch. Full line set. Want to go up at 4. Snatched at 3 by Curtin. They bring it down and go forward. No defense in front of him. Good little bit of awareness that time. Curtin now trying to find someone to break through the line. They do so nicely with Fogali. Filling in at half.
That was a could have come badly there. Bit of pepper on that.
Fogali sets. Tyre Perry fills in at half again. Long cutout ball lost forward. Let's not see a pick straight through the line again through ARKS.
Yeah,
Almost wanted it.
He was asking a lot from the man on the outside there.
Red ball.
Just even with those, a few of those phases, those passes coming off the breakdown, just slow it down, boys.
No need to rush as well. It looks as well like Chadwick has moved back into fullback, the number 9. And it looks like Tyre Perry, not sure how much experience he has at half, he's moved in. And that's it, they're a little bit floaty, a little bit catch. Got to get it in front of the ball runner. Let him run onto the ball. And that's it. When you're flat like that as well, you saw that last pass in the piece was a double cutout, but your team hasn't gone forward. A double cutout's not going to gain you any advantage. Nonetheless, we're packing a scrum on the 22.
Fine.
As we see here, flat ball from the 10. Big triple cutout to no one. 14 was not even expecting it. Ball's in, and it's available at the back, and ARKS clear it, but it's tricky, goes backwards underneath the feet. Tata recovers well. Now they've got a little bit of space and time to work it. Need to just get this one going forward.
Doesn't have the pace though.
Gets outside the 22, shrugging off 1, 2. He's bought himself enough time for a support runner though. Works his way almost up to halfway off a simple carry. Ball's available at the back, and now everyone's out there. All those forwards hadn't quite retired, but I think we're going to let them play on. Need to go forward here, ARKS. Stop passing, just run forward.
Look at this line.
Beats 1, shrugs into the second and takes the contact well. Pick and go.
He's holding on to that.
Penalty coming the way of ARKS. Quick tap the call. No clear release was the penalty. Out wide opportunities once again here for ARKS as they feed the ball wide once again. Through the 40, didn't need to throw the backdoor flick. He was fine to get on the ground, but nonetheless,
and he didn't have
ARKS
that support out wide either.
25 out, and numbers galore out to the left here for the ARKS. They've got back line, then 2 forward pods set ready to go, but they're flat-footed. Now they need to move forward. Good ball, throwing it across. Blindside call again. It's a short side opportunity for the 22. Plenty of Curtin defenders coming across. I wish they could get that many to their own rucks, but they're getting them to the defensive ones. Pass just going behind the man again. No, disallowing the forward ball. Toki gets to ground now. Backs her out. Little fake.
Sold that well.
Ben Tata to ground.
Well, not quite well.
Turnover comes. No support over the top. Quick tap this time, Fulton, and he goes for the kick.
No need.
Didn't really need to do it.
No need.
And plenty of time at the back.
There is no chase from Curtin. Absolutely no chase.
Yeah, they've got a hooker and a wing, and they've bumbled it forward. Dives on it. And Curtin get away with one there, and they get the penalty once again. Probably a bit of a professional one there. No one back from ARKS. You don't really want them to quickly get on top of that and have advantage. So I don't actually mind giving away the penalty there. And Curtin in no hurry, but they're just going to jab this one inside the 22 and have a crack at the line.
Well, look, by all accounts, they shouldn't be here, though, should they?
No. Fulton kicked over the top. No chase coming.
You can't build a game plan by mistake. And that's both teams at the moment. It's just whether it be the drive towards the line or actually scoring, it's coming off the back of some terrible mistakes from the other side.
So Curtin into the 22 for the first time this half. Full line out. Up at 1, bring it down, and then they pop across. Trick play, no, I don't mind that. They go for the second setup of the maul. Don't quite get the binding right, and it goes to ground. Forward moving ball. Centres are wrapping around.
There's a massive overlap.
Got to go the corner. Don't try to jig yourself out of it. Trying to go through the inside. Held up in the contest. Doesn't get held up for a maul. Does well to get to ground.
Just that change of footwork there, Nick, just closed that gap for ARKS. They've almost lost that.
Could have used a bit of pace. Go the corner. Have a crack, son. Worst thing that happens, you get put into touch, and ARKS are going to have a wobbly old kick into touch. You've got to line out in the 22 still. Now they line up through their big hooker. Short of the line.
Red.
And an opportunity to give the pod ball out to the right. Dive towards the line. The big number 8. He's already scored 1, and he gets a second. Fuea Siavaya.
Wow.
Just falls over.
Yes. He said it again. He's got that ball. You knew exactly what he was going to do. I knew what he was going to do. How did ARKS not know what he was going to do?
He thought they'd be defensive as well. He stopped and then he realised, but if I just fall over the line here, I actually get 5 points for that.
Yeah. So this game really is turning on a dime, depending on which way the wind's blowing. And as I just say that, the wind actually now has picked up. It is coming across
it's a gentle
the ground.
breeze at
Just
best.
a gentle breeze. It's not going to affect play, but what it is going to do, it's going to change conditions out there for the players. It's not for rugby. If you're watching this at home, 28 degrees is the forecast, but out on the grass it's probably more like
it's probably pretty warm.
It's pretty warm, but this breeze, I can tell you I'm enjoying it, Nick, and I can tell you both camps will be enjoying it too.
I think a little bit of height, we're taking a bit of advantage up here in the box as well.
Yes.
A little bit of height, little extra wind.
And they've got that, so that's
24 apiece now, conversion successful. It's all tied up. But there's plenty of rugby left, Dave. We're going to see some things.
Game. So if nothing, it's entertaining from the fact it's going to be close, we think.
ARKS in a big line of 15 walking back towards halfway. They've got about 30 metres to go still. Once they get there, I'm sure some kickoff of a variety will take place. Bradley Jackman, the assistant referee, just boots that one nicely to halfway.
There's just a lackadaisy effort from everybody at the moment, including the ball boys. That's gone very deep.
It's a nice kick.
It's a great kick.
Forces the try scorer to have a run straight away. Beats 1, beats 2. No one wants to take his legs, boys. Take his legs. He's beaten 4, 5, taking on the 6 with a palm off. The 7th brings him down.
Well, I'd suggest he probably brought himself down there.
Yeah, I think he'd had enough. Big calls of offside, but the retreating players weren't too terrible. And now they're finding themselves forward off. Yeah, just losing it forward.
Leave it, boys, leave it.
Curtin have the numbers on the outside. There's a little bit of handbags, Dave. Keep an eye on that. I'll watch the play. ARKS, cut out ball over the handbags in the centre of the field. Opportunity for Toki.
Testing the strength of their jerseys at the moment, I think.
Yeah, now we've got an opportunity on the wing. Chip over, late hit.
It was a late hit. No.
Fulton sorry about it. At the back, play still continues. The handbags are still on. The late hit man is on the ground. The game's coming alive here now, Dave. Who wants to play rugby? That's the question. There's about 6 left that do. We've got another handbags here just from the last ruck. Opportunity now for Curtin because there's nobody defending. They're all involved in fights.
Just gonna, oh my gosh.
Diving over the top. Chadwick kicks it through. We're inside the 22.
Home for ARKS.
There's nobody there. Nobody wants to secure the ball. At least the first handbags is dealt with now. Inside the 22 and now hands in the ruck.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the ref has a chat here. Will he have a chat?
I think you've got to stop the play here and let's just get everyone back on side. Yeah, you pull it up. It's all about selling what's about to happen. You've got to say, boys, I've seen the late tackle. I've seen the handbags. There's nothing in both.
Happy, all right? He was not able to put...
Yeah, I'm happy here.
Yes.
And then from the sideline, are we happy with the handbags?
Now,
he's selling it as well as he can.
If this was going to a bunker type situation, you might be able to justify that was late. I don't think we have a replay on that. But for mine, technically it was late, but he was in the action of kicking.
Here's the late hit. Kicks over the top, and it's a good 3 or 4 paces, isn't it?
So,
not too much in it. But as you see on the reply here, you're just dicing through the field. I'd probably just go penalty, though, for the late hit. Yeah. There wasn't too much else in it. No. There's still a defender back. It wasn't last line. It's just bad.
There's the bit of a...
That was the second handbags. Toki just having a little press. Wasn't bad by Brendan Davies through here.
And even here, just the
diving over. Probably would have been better for Chadwick not to kick it and draw the penalty diving across.
If there ever was a couple of phases that really represent what this game has been like so far, that was probably it.
That's exactly what we'd expect at some point in this game, and we were served up an absolute delight of it.
So just for an update for those watching at home, the 22 for ARKS on the end of that late hit, he seems to have a hamstring issue. Or actually, it could be...
He was getting a lot of stretching done. It was either calf or hamstring. I can't say it's a joint.
I actually think it's calf now because he's got ice underneath his calf. So
I think he's been down for, 6 minutes now, though, since the hit?
He's been down for a while.
So maybe you're done for the day there, champ.
He's coming up now.
Coming up, and I'd assume he comes off.
No, he's coming off. No, he's staying on. And he's very proppy. Gets a literal spray from his teammates on the bench too as he walks past to cool him down.
Rightio, time's back on. 24 apiece.
Hands in.
And we're going to go penalty for hands in the ruck.
After all that.
Tap and go inside the 22.
Oh, no.
I've seen it all today. This is what we came to see between ARKS and Curtin. They've passed the ball out wide. They've managed to go 10 metres forward.
That's great.
But they're tackled out wide. They're outside their 22, and they've got nothing but ball running to advance them forward now. Ball's available, no half there. You're going to have to give it. And they're going to go coast to coast again now. They move backwards 10 metres. They're on their 22 again, but they shrug off the first, and the diving tackle from Fulton slips off. Ball runner short side. Trying to get inside the big prop, and they beat the second.
That was well done by the 12 for Curtin.
Just a good angle.
Guys, we're offside.
Penalty advantage offside, so they can use the ball freely here now. They've got the overlap again. The J defense from Curtin is too shallow. Now they've got advantage over. Wide ball, one more through. Kick down, and they do so now. Bounce pops up nicely for Paeli. And they're going to draw a penalty here. No, hasn't made. He's kept his feet. Curtin secure the ball. Needed to do a little bit more to stay up the ARKS defender.
I think he actually...
He just surrendered himself.
Yeah.
So Curtin inside their own 22, but not quite too keen to get behind the ball here. There's no one that wants to run the ball. So it has to be a flat check ball, and the prop kicks for touch.
Well, it's all happening.
Nothing tells you more than there's no ball runners available, that after, out of desperation, the half says, listen, you're number one, you're the big prop, I'm going to give it to you. The long ball comes in off the quick line out, but the prop kicks it into touch. So the ball stays alive. Fulton misses his tackle. Now there's an opportunity out wide for the 22. Again. He's just going to jog this one in. So the quick line out makes it an easy try in the corner there for ARKS, because nobody from Curtin wanted to play rugby there.
No.
No ball runners, no line out chasers.
And it's the man with the bunk calf too for ARKS. And we've got this is going to be a big blow. We've got
the double try scorer.
The big unit for Curtin to come off with what appears to be either an ankle or
for AC Lavala.
An ankle or a calf.
I think he's realised out there. Well, he looks a bit frustrated coming off on the bench there, but he's actually done enough hard work out there this afternoon. Maybe he realised that I think I've done my job. It's now time for someone else to show a little bit of heart in this Curtin side. 29 to 24, kick to come.
You can see on your screen there, I don't know his number, but is he stretching? He's stretching.
It's Robbie Fulton.
Okay. So he's actually, but his game's actually been pretty good so far. Actually, he's one of the guys in Curtin that can hold their head high. A couple of good chases.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why he's the captain for Curtin, one of the main experienced campaigners.
I got a blood, guys.
Leading by example.
Guys, I got a black blood. Can you got me? Brad?
It's a kick to come.
Black 9, blood.
It's a hard kick, but it'd be a pretty handy two at this stage in the game. Getting yourself clear by 7 with 25 to go would be very nice. Oh, a little bit of foxing there. Don't know about that from the Curtin water boy.
Just got to go wide.
Don't know if we caught that on the camera there, but as you saw, the kicker was set, ready to go, about to start his process for the kicking, and the physio water boy from Curtin just walked between him and the tee. Once again, game awareness from everyone here in first grade rugby level needs to be higher. You can't be that oblivious to what's going on in the game of rugby.
And you're lucky you've got a referee that's
Didn't we see a ban in Waterboys in AFL for a similar incident like that, getting in the way?
Well, you're the former referee, Nick. By all accounts, I mean, the referee can call him up for that, can't he not?
I might have awarded the kick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a professional foul.
Yeah.
You've got to ping someone for it. And it's like a penalty try. You've interfered with it.
Exactly.
You're the last line of defence.
Exactly.
ARKS out to the left. Numbers again. Rap
Oh,
was
that was
really nice.
impressive.
Created the extra man. Darts inside to find a little bit of space. Doesn't get held. Can work an extra couple of metres and bought some time. Arriving players come, and ARKS have a line of 12 out to the right.
There is a school out there. Oh, that's... Oh,
I mean, we mentioned it to Curtin in the first half to maybe play a little bit like
You were never onside.
penalty, offside, yep, never retreated. We mentioned it to Curtin in the first half. Maybe they should play like Perth Bayswater, run ARKS off their feet. But now ARKS are playing like Perth Bayswater. Big forward pods on the coasts. Never would have expected it.
Well, the only reason I suggest, well, again, you've got a side that is younger, it's smaller, it's more youthful. So that they've got the legs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're smart, which you assume the coaching staff at ARKS are, they can play the same game. If they move that ball, they're coming up against the side. We've got a replay here. Oh, look at that.
It was a good wrap.
Beautiful offload.
Created an extra bit of overlap out of nowhere. Would have been good to see him link up with that final man, but he kind of just overcommitted to his inside divvy line. And we haven't seen a scrum in a while, so we see how the Thai bodies are holding up front. And it's a good scrum.
Nice, one of the best.
8 picks off, gives to 9. Inside, no, it goes on the outside once again. ARKS have penetrated the line, but we're very close to another one if they can start getting the ball through their hands here. They pick blind instead and gives Curtin a chance to reset. Advantage comes. They expect a little bit of fancy play from one of the brothers at ARKS. They like to use their penalty advantages, and they've lost that one forward. Coming back penalty.
Back on there, gents. Coming back here for a penalty. 25 was never...
So once again, Curtin not retreating. Wouldn't mind seeing a scrum here from ARKS. Don't think they've got much in the line out. Tap and go is basically the same option. They've got 2 pods set and ready, so at least they're organised. Second pod's out to the left here. They're 5 out from the line. And they go back door to the backs. Oh, good opportunity here to go straight with the second pod. Backs weren't ready for it.
It's like a can opener.
And all of a sudden, 34-24, 10-point advantage kick to come.
Here we see it here.
Yeah, the first pod runner was good, and you see number 1's 3-16, all set and ready to receive this second ball. But they go back door, and just there was big gaps out wide. A lot of nervous Curtin boys on the inside ready to stop the forwards.
Well, again, it's experience, isn't it? Those, as you mentioned, those pods there, they were sucked in, weren't they? The Curtin defenders. So
took the candy instead of setting a line.
Yeah.
34-24 kick to come. An advantage of 12 would be huge.
Especially in the context of this game. We've gone halfway in the second stanza.
Yeah, but the first half, things changed pretty quickly in the second half of the first half. Not sure about my English there.
Well,
that's the first half of the second half.
I was about to say, the tries, they seem to be coming in pairs, don't they?
They do come in pairs.
So by all accounts, it should be Curtin scoring 2 here. Next up. Right behind this kick.
Nicely off the middle of the boot. And over the black dot, 36-24, extending the lead. ARKS now in a powerful position. Curtin just need to find somebody to lead this team into the end of this game. The injured number 8 on the sideline trying to rev him up.
Yeah, so just for those at home, it does appear to be an ankle. He's got, well, he shoved a big block of ice into his sock.
I mean, it's scientific enough.
I've never seen that done before.
Hey, Curtin Uniphysios, they do know what they're doing.
Whatever works, go with it.
Decent kickoff once again. He's found his boot on the drop kick, the number 10 for Curtin.
It was a better chase too.
But ARKS ready to use the hands again, and they're finding the gaps
Another
very
massive
easily on the
overlap.
outside. Doing well to find support, slowing up. See, there's 5 from
Oh,
Curtin
that is
massing
terrible.
around the ball there.
Where's the talk?
Not going to roll here, just getting trapped too slow.
Got an advantage.
He did get stuck a little bit, but it's just you rendered yourself, and then a little dart on the inside. Penalty advantage, bouncing off 1, gaining an extra 5 metres. And now ARKS have the ball in hand, ready to play.
Okay, play it up.
Tata has to do a bit of work to get this one off at the back. Still got advantage. Laurent takes the line on. Carlos feeds him on the blind side. And they're just rolling, getting metres at the moment. Curtin not able just to make a tackle go to ground. Darting on the inside. Good little run there by Black, who's straight through. The ball doesn't go to hand, though. The checkoff doesn't quite get the mustard.
Angle, man.
Looks like the turnovers come. Curtin, unorganised. Don't need to be offloading inside your own 22. Just take the contacts, fellas. Blind side. 2-on-2 opportunity. They exit the 22. And start the drive forward now. A little more organisation from their forwards, and they find the backs now. They kick the possession away, but it's not the worst kick in the world. And ARKS are going to feed this across the back of Vaya.
Retire, Black, retire!
Jabs this one. No one from Curtin. They've kicked the ball away, and they don't have any defensive structure set up. This one's going to pull up. And I think he's taken that one backwards.
He has taken it back.
Yeah, scrum down.
22.
No,
Knocked it back and grounded.
Yeah.
saying it was
on
just
over the
over the
top
line.
already.
He's saying 22.
22, guys.
Oh, it sounded like he
Over the
said
top
knocked
line.
it back
Yeah.
and
I
grounded
think he's saying, but on his dive, the ball was already inside the in goal. And then he's like, on
Okay.
he's out of desperation, like
Okay.
hit it, then
Oh,
grounded
okay.
it.
So maybe that
I'd say it was pretty close to taken back, though.
Yeah.
Maybe Foster just thinks he hasn't done enough running yet, so he wants a long drop kick here and another little bit of a sprint. Trains his Broncos hard. No, he's slow off the mark here, George Foster-Jones. And that one bobbles down into touch. We'll take a look at the replay here quickly. Ball was bobbling. It looked like it was going to pull up short there. I think it was just on the line. It hit the pad, which
Yeah.
gives me the idea that it was already in goal before knocked
Well, if it
backwards.
hits, you're the referee. If it hits the pad, it's in goal, is it not?
That's a different one. We can use it as a piece of the line. So
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, if it's touched the pad,
Yeah.
you can ground on it
Yeah.
as a piece of the line, but I'm not sure if in general play it counts as a piece.
Okay.
Jeez, I'd have to get out the book for that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'll be studying tonight. Forward pods are set in centre field here for ARKS once again.
Roll, Black, roll.
Slow ball, blind side, but Curtin have no numbers
Another
out there at all.
huge-
Got to have communication. It was
Wow,
a simple
jumbo
3-on-1,
through
and they're going to start
Just-
running this one into the
That
22.
was unnecessary.
Cover defense as always. Nicely done by Nick Chadwick, but I mean, it can't always be him sprinting from wherever he is in the field to cover their ass.
Again, now if they're up quickly, ARKS, no, the coverage is good from Curtin.
Yeah, they're happy to just trot across
Although
field.
he was never, ever going to make that tackle.
Matthew Stevens has no turn of foot on the outside and gets absolutely
And
burnt.
you can't blame him for that.
It's not really his job out
No.
there, is it?
And the ball carrier absolutely knew it. Well, I'm on here. Catch me if you can, which I know you can't, and off we go.
Was a good little first few steps. He just went slow as he approached him, just going, oh no, we'll get close to each other
Yeah.
first.
And
But
then I'll
I
turn.
haven't told you that there's 7
Yeah.
metres of space on the outside. I'll just take that when I'm close enough.
Yeah.
As simple as you like tries like that.
Jump on that one now.
So 41-24, this game's opening up. Saw down the far side. The open side for ARKS was just simply put
So
a gift.
I don't understand that behind the back, there was no voice there. So
No call.
no
Yeah,
calls, no one calling
call.
because there's no one there. So
Here we go. You can talk us through this, though. Getting absolutely burnt on the outside, Matthew Stevens.
here we go. So it is not exactly. So yeah. So he's just this. There was absolutely nothing he could do.
He thought for a second he was a chance as well. He locked eyes. He was going to meet him up. 41-24, kick to come.
They are dropping light flies at the moment. And a 4 coming off, which appears to be another ankle injury for Curtin. He's proppy on his left.
Yeah, Austin
That
Connolly.
one, it's gone over.
43-24. Clock starting to narrow down a little bit on us now. We did have that long bit of time off at the start after the massive piece of play. It's probably still a good 15-odd minutes left in this one. And now Curtin looking a little bit like ARKS, meandering back to halfway. Set and ready now.
10.
Great kickoff, just makes its way to the 10, and it was really well brought down by Toki. Fanning out the back, similar game plan. We're just going to spread you guys a little bit wide off the first couple phases. Managing to get to ground nicely, Avaya. And ARKS just holding the ball through contact, not getting brought to ground off the first hits. I want to know how many first tackles they've been broken through today.
You'd have your job cut out as a stats man or woman today.
Big stats game as the line breaks,
big
comes
fella
again.
goes straight through.
Up to the 22.
That's a drive.
Nice leg drive, and there's no one on the blind side here. ARKS surely are going to run this one in the corner, but they dish it into the ground. Lost forward, then grub it into touch by Curtin.
Black ball, knock on by red.
Again, that over that far side, there's a lot of white line rugby going on.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why.
All they needed to do was just
gotta
draw and pass. But it was a
ball
desperation little no-looker.
Yes,
It got dished into the ground.
Knock on by red.
We see it here on the replay. It's a great dish and that big hit.
There's the mark on the fly.
Chadwick did well to try to stop the momentum there, the little number 9.
Like that's what you got to do. Take the hit up. You know, you got to beat a fella like that with pace, but you're not going to beat him with weight. So just get in front of him.
Grab.
Allow your defenders to come up and support.
Bind. Set.
Curtin swiftly hooked this one at the back, and the number 8's going to pick up. Works his way sharply. Just 20 out from the line. There's a chance in the pocket now, which they go to, and they look
Hold
to the
forward,
line.
Back, hold. That's it. Well done, mate.
Has found touch,
They'll go quick here.
but no one chasing, and there's 4 across the back ready to race here for ARKS. They spin it again. Who's going to attack the line for ARKS?
Again, no tackles held.
The big 13,
Oh, no.
Tiamanu, just breaks the line again, finding his 19 on the
That was
outside.
better.
And there's another little injury for Curtin, not looking good. Fanning out across the back. It's a numbers game. They find themselves
there's a
nice and wide, and it could just be going
raffle.
heading into the corner now. You've got to just draw and pass and score. It's amazing to me that the later this game goes on, the more organised this ARKS outfit gets. They're spread out, they're set up across the line, they've got passes, they've got ball runners.
What
the team
surprises me, Nick, is I don't know if they got some magic juice sitting in the tent, but they were not. This was not the team in that first half. I spoke about the lack of run, lack of urgency from Curtin, especially in those first few minutes of that first half. Because ARKS looked slow, but now the team that they looked like the team that got the pace, got the spring in the step, which is quite a turn up for the books.
So 48-24 with a kick to come still.
And they're spreading that Curtin defence. We see the replay here.
Tamani just has a great little carry as he's had all day today. I mean, it's a good stiff arm. Got to give him that at least. But once there's a stiff arm, it just made it a 2-on-1 out wide. They were already behind the last line of defence, and it was all cover defence from Curtin. And then look at the organisation here. You got 1 ball runner, 2 ball runners, 3, cuts out the 4th, goes to the 5th,
on the back,
then the 6th gives to the 7th, cut out to the 8th, and then the 9th out wide gets the try. Got 9 in a perfect line. It's hard to actually stop that for most teams. I mean, it wasn't going through the line that quickly. But if you're not organised and you're not getting up in the face...
They're spreading that line, aren't they? They're spreading that defensive line for Curtin. They're just not getting back.
Chance for the extra 2. He's just got the legs, but I think on the inside of the post again, stays 48-24. And entering probably what would be around the last 10 minutes of this game.
Just a reminder to all the viewers, next week we're going to be up north, Nick, at Joondalup.
Who, they've got a lot of list changes this year. Even one young man in that side who's just been appointed vice captain. I was talking to him through the week, Ryan King. He's quite a utility player for them, plays 7, 8, bit of 9 when needed as well. He's a good player. He's been there for a few years now, and he said they've got a lot of list changes, but they are confident. They've freed up a few players that were tying up a few positions at the club. They've got They've got a new number 10. Obviously, Kingy's in number 7. It's going to shape up to be a good game, that one, for Joondalup, and it looks like they're going to be one of the teams talked about challenging for the top 4 at the end of the year. They need a few results to go their way, but I'm excited to be up at HBF next week. As ARKS make their way up a good leg drive to halfway, just need to get the ball free now. And a cross kick to no one, not talking to anyone. But we'll see if Curtin can be a little bit smarter in possession here. Only one person ready to blow over the top of the ruck.
Again,
there's not much talk going on out here.
Yeah, there's no talk at all.
There's players in a rough assortment. As Grace, who's been a good ball runner all day, attacks the line. But all of these forwards flat on the blind side. No option to pass or draw. And the head just gets placed on the line of touch, and we're going to go for a line out.
He's just asking the question of the ref there. It's almost like, I mean, the tackle itself, he's allowed himself, the angle he hit that opposing man was going to drag him toward the line any day of the week.
But it also comes with, because they were flat, ARKS were happy to go a two-man tackle because they go, well, you got no one to pass to. There's no one I've got to worry about on the outside, so I'll help my man on the inside. We'll both tackle him, and we'll manipulate the body position wherever we want it. ARKS win this one. Hold it off the top, then pass it out the back. Crashing midfield. And a little bit of a messy ruck. Curtin have a counter ruck opportunity. Playing on the ground now, surely here. George Foster-Jones responds in turn. Tap and go, not on the mark.
You're going to take it off the mark. 2. Ball has to be your hands, mate, okay?
Incorrect tap, actually. He was on the mark, but incorrect disposal.
You're offside there, guys.
Curtin, you think they've got to look to the line?
Line now.
Not a bad nudge. Probably going to be 15 out from the line.
If you were on the mark and you did that,
and if there was ever a time to get a try and maybe have a chance at a fairy tale, it's going to be right now.
You were off the mark.
They've got a few forwards out in the back line here.
Yeah,
expect Grace to crash this one up, number 7.
Your hands.
Only committed 4 the line out, Curtin. Or 3, I should say.
3.
Hold.
It's okay for ARKS, minimum 4. Well, you can have 4 as a minimum. You don't have to drop down to 3.
Lost. Well done.
Inside the 22, Curtin with ball in hand, and there's runners on the outside. Number 6 runs into a heavy line. Evan Burns.
Just draw it. That's all you need to do.
Just tire the defense out a little bit. They haven't had to make too many tackles consecutively. Gets on the inside, gains another metre, and the turnover is going to come here for ARKS. They're all over the ball. Lost.
Okay.
No.
7. Grace spins off the inside of the first.
Ruck now.
And now in a real opportunity to score. Not running onto the ball, though. They're just flat-footed, leaving it for someone else to make the play. Need to work as a cohesive unit to get over the line here. Curtin, feedback left. Grace, hands through to you. Burns.
Release!
Slow ball. They go blindside. Little show and go. Have to backtrack around. They've got to be short now. Penalty advantage coming.
Play on.
No, play on. Penalty, yeah. Or try.
No, try. They're down.
what ARKS were doing down there. It seemed like a pretty easy thing to defend. And once I saw the arm go out Varney, I thought they were just going to kill the ball, accept the penalty. 29-48, kick to come. Any hope?
We've had a bit of time off, but not as much as the first half. You've probably got, at best, I'd say 6 minutes maybe to play. So what you need another
4 in a row.
Yeah. Saved yourself penalty. Well done.
Probably not.
Maybe not. Well, maybe they can get this one closer, get back towards bonus point territory.
We see it here.
Yeah, so we'll actually give them the dues they reserve on the try here. They get caught up. You see eventually the arm goes out from the referee. 7 ARKS, just came falling around the wrong side of the ruck. They pick and go and just dives at the line. No one defending actually at all.
And they've got that one. Try converted.
31-48.
Subs, yep, okay. Are they done, mate? Do I call up? Hang on, mate. Just doing that. Okay.
Ready for a restart now. ARKS go long, really long. And driven into touch. The Curtin ball runner looked to be aggressive through the line and just got met by a wall. And ARKS are more than happy to dump him into touch. And it's going to be 23 out from the line. ARKS ball, line out. 5-man up at 1.
Hold.
Off the top to the hooker. Finds its way to the half and the back line eventually. Trying to spin through the first big ball runners from ARKS.
Yes, it's out.
Ball's out. A little bit of awareness coming around the side was good from Curtin, but the pops are good. The ball is free. Tartan out. 15 out from the line. Curtin fishing for the ball. No good this time though. Slow ball. Half needs to go looking for it.
Well done.
Ball
Strange
comes
option.
out wide. 4 on 2 in favour of the defence, but the kick goes through.
22.
And 22 drop out. No one's getting back for ARKS. You've got to have a crack here. Have a bit of fun.
Oh, he's
Take your time when you get there. Advantage lost forward. I mean, boy, oh boy, wowee. What an absolute mare of a possession there. Chadwick just rushing himself.
Yep. Okay, you've won it. Coming back here, no advantage.
Try not to be negative, Mick, but
Knock
just
on
as
first,
a
spot
young
right, no
developing
advantage to red.
side, they're the things that you can fix pretty easily. You can fix pretty easily because they're the stuff that saps you.
It's commitment.
It just saps you. I mean, the whole team drops its head, and they're easy mistakes to fix. You just don't do them. I know it's a silly
Last
thing to
minute,
say. You just
gentlemen,
don't do it to begin with. There
There
was
we
no
go,
need for
Mark.
them to
Yeah,
rush
just
that.
on the 5.
But if you want to attack something like that and you want to go quickly, you see the defence is coming and you go, oh yeah, I don't have all the time in the world to do a little one to myself. Slow down as you're approaching and bomb it.
Yeah.
Do a big drop kick. You're still the guy chasing it. It's a foot race no matter which option you take. But there's a lot more percentage if you just slowed up and just gave yourself an opportunity to boot that one long.
Just got to see it.
Rush.
Dropped it there. Goes the drop out.
Fine.
Rushing up towards the line. You see he's looking at the defence the whole time and not even looking when he has a crack there.
Yeah.
So back to live play.
Free kick for early engagement there. ARKS now have the tap and they find themselves in a similar position to 2 minutes ago. 15 out right in front of the sticks. And this time they got a much better overlap. And they're going to find themselves in the corner once again. It's the number 15 of Vay. Who's been out there all afternoon, ball running and setting up other players. Gets a try for himself. 56-31.
Yep.
So with the kick to come from the sideline, looks like time's going to be expired after this one. Not a dominant win by ARKS. It's probably what we expected out here this afternoon, Curtin and ARKS. It's a big rivalry. Hard to get wins in this competition for teams like this. So they'll be happy. They certainly looked a little bit better in the second half, but where can we go to from here for Curtin?
Well, it's got nothing to do with on-field performance, but speaking to the club officials prior to game, they've got the infrastructure behind them. They have the infrastructure behind them. They've got the
University. That one just off the inside. No successful on the conversion there. So the final score, Curtin University 31, ARKS Rugby Union 51. As you say, yeah, they've got the backing to make something special out of this club. They've been rising through the grades. Curtin are going to have to bounce back and just give a little bit more of an effort at training. Organise yourselves.
Well, yeah, and they've got the backing, they've got the numbers, they've got the support. Even from understanding the culture at this club's pretty good as well. So they're a youthful club, but again, that fumble on that 22 sort of summed it up for me today. Those things are easy to fix. They really are easy to fix, but when they happen, they absolutely demoralise you as a squad. So it doesn't matter how many good faces you put together, how much of a good half you have. If you keep doing those things, all players will drop their heads. But they're easy to fix. They've got the youth, they've got the exuberance, they've got the structure. So easy to fix, a little more commitment at training, and they're going to be up there. The future of this side is promising.
The future of this side will come through as well. They've got some good players in seconds and thirds that they're training up. Some faster guys, I'll say, in some of their lower grades as well. Once they've got the rugby knowledge, they'll be there. But after comedy of errors, they've gone down by 20, and ARKS are the victorious ones. Thank you all for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
So we'll just go down now, ground side. We'll throw down to Nick, and he'll have a chat with a few of the victors. I'll do that again.
Yeah. And that's the problem, they switch off, don't they? Yeah, I mean, well, that's one thing with these, when you're breathing, it comes through.